everyone. Today I want to show you a really great exercise for tonguing. So it'll make your tonguing faster, and bonus, it's going to make you better at counting also. So the basic idea is this. In music, we have a beat, a pulse, and a lot of times in Western classical music, that beat or pulse is a quarter note. So you have quarter notes, and what we're doing in music is we're either stringing them together to hold longer and longer notes, like half notes and whole notes, or we're taking that quarter note and we're chopping it up. And the thing is about chopping it up is that we're chopping it up into equal parts. So we chop the quarter note into two, that makes eighth notes, and they're equal. Or we're chopping it up into triplets, so 3 equal parts. 16th notes, 4 equal parts, and so on. We can chop it up into 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s. 8s is 32nd notes. So if we practice tonguing that, we're going to get really good at counting that as well. So in this exercise, we're going to play a measure of quarter notes and then repeat it. And then we're going to play a measure of eighth notes and repeat that. A measure of triplets, repeated, a measure of sixteenths, repeated, and so on and so forth. And when we get to the 5s, the 5 tuplets, we'll do something slightly different. So what you do is you get your trusty metronome and you set it on 60 for the quarter note. Okay, and we do open G for one measure of 4/4 repeated. Okay, easy enough. Now we move to eighth notes. Triplets. Sixteenths. And then when we get to 5s, we're going to do something slightly different. Because at 5s, we're starting to cram in a lot of notes inside one beat. We want to give the ear a chance to really hear all 5 before we try to tuck in another group of 5. So we're going to do a 5 tuplet followed by a quarter note, followed by a 5 tuplet, followed by another quarter note. And it'll sound like something like this. Okay, and the same thing with 6s, 7s, and 8s. So those will sound something like this, starting with 6s. Sevens. And 8s. And so on and so forth. And when you want to get faster and faster, you will just amp up your metronome tempo by one notch at a time. So then I would do that again at 61 until I was really good at it. Then 62, 63, 64, you get the right idea. So there are a couple really common problems when we get into the 5s and the 6s and the 7s and the 8s. And that is that the ear has a really hard time knowing how many notes we just tongued. So think of this. Think if you heard 2 fireworks go off, like 2 big booms, and somebody said, "How many did you hear?" You'd be like, "Well, I heard 2," because you know you heard 2. But what if you heard an entire, like a big smattering of fireworks all at once? And somebody said, "How many individual fireworks did you hear?" It would be really hard to have them separate. It's also like, I think of like video games that are like shooter games where you have 1 shot or 2 shots or 3 shots, we can hear that. But if a machine gun goes off and somebody says, "How many clips did you hear?" it would be really hard to tell. So that happens to us when we're playing. And we're like, "I'm not so sure I just played 7 notes. Did I really play 7 notes?" So I have 2 ways to help you do this. One is use words. Okay, so I like to use words for counting. So eighth notes are tiger, triplets are strawberry, 16ths are alligator, 5 tuplets are hippopotamus or university. So if I'm trying to figure out if I played a 5 with my metronome, let me put it back on 60. So in my head, I'm going to say hippopotamus pie, hippopotamus pie. And I don't know why quarter notes are pie, but they just are for me. I love pie. So hippopotamus pie, hippopotamus pie. So then when I'm tonguing, I'm thinking hippopotamus pie. And there we have it. So sixes, I think strawberry, blueberry. That's 6 syllables. For sevens, I think purple hippopotamus. So purple hippopotamus pie. So on this one, sevens. And I literally thought purple hippopotamus pie when I was doing that. And then for eights, I just think alligator, alligator, or rubber ducky, rubber ducky. That will also work. That doesn't work for everybody though, the word method. So another way you can do this is you can split up the seven, let's say we're on sevens. You can split it up into like a group of 3 G's and then 4 A's. So you would do 3 G's, 4 A's, and then you, for a pie, for the quarter note after that, you could do whatever you wanted. So here's 3 G's and 4 A's for a group of 7. And that helps me know a little bit more clearly whether I've actually done 7 notes or not. So I hope this helps you with your tonguing, with speeding up your tonguing. And as a bonus, it's going to make you an even better counter. Happy practicing.